الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله الأمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهديه واستنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Last session we talked about the things that nullifies one fasting, and we mentioned three things, that is eating, drinking, and sexual intercourse. And we said that if you eat normal food, or if you swallow anything that can be swallowed, even if it wasn't food, then your fast has been nullified. So if somebody intentionally swallows a pill, a medicine pill, or swallows a small stone, then he with that has nullified his fasting. As far as the intercourse, sexual intercourse during the day of Ramadan, this is a very grave and serious sin. And that is why among all the things that nullify fasting, the Prophet ﷺ had made an expiation for doing that sin. And that is, if someone intentionally has intercourse with his wife, he should first free a slave, set a slave free. And if he does not have a slave, as in the case nowadays, then he should move into the second option, which is to fast 60 consecutive days, 2 months. And if he's unable to do that, then the third option and final option is to feed 60 indigent or 60 poor people, 60 poor person. Okay, what happens if he cannot afford that either? What is the fourth option? There isn't any. So if he does not have a slave to free, he could not fast 60 days, 2 months, and he cannot feed 60 poor person, then there's nothing for him to do except to ask Allah Azza wa Jal for forgiveness, and to make up for that day he has broken by this sexual intercourse. The emission of semen without intercourse also nullifies fasting, but you don't have to pay that expiation. It only nullifies your fasting as if you had something to eat or to drink. But by the emission of semen without intercourse, you don't have to do the three things we have mentioned a bit earlier. We move on to the fourth thing that nullifies your fasting, and the fifth, and this is especially for ladies, for females. The fourth thing is the menstruation, which is the monthly period. And the fifth thing is connected with it, which is the post-birth bleeding. It is because of this blood that comes out of females, which is a natural thing. This is something that Allah Azza wa Jal has put upon them. So it is a natural thing. It is nothing to be ashamed of or to be angry of, as in the case of Mother Aisha, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, when he once entered his house and found her crying. And he knew that she was crying out of either shame or anger or something like that. So he told her, "What's wrong? Did you get your monthly period?" She said, "Yes." So he told her as a type of comfort. He's comforting her and by telling her that this is something normal. Allah Almighty has put this among all females. So this is something normal, it's natural, it's nothing to be ashamed of, as we have this in some parts of the world. So whenever a woman has this menstruation, or after giving birth she has this post-birth bleeding, then she is obliged, she must break her fast, and she is not allowed to fast. And even if she fasts, and even if she says, listen, I feel good, I'm strong, I'm capable, I don't want to break my fasting, I want to fast with everyone else, it is not accepted. Even if she does this, it is not accepted. And along with that, she is sinful, and she will be punished for doing that, because she is told not to do that. I think now we have room, we have time for questions, because I believe that the brothers have a lot of questions that they would like to ask about the things that nullifies fasting, and things that we did not answer in previous lessons. So does anybody have a question?
I'd like to ask you about the emission of semen, or the seminal fluid, while one or a person is sleeping.
Well,
yeah.
The emission of semen is either intentional or unintentional. So if someone emits semen with his intention, he does that deliberately, whether by masturbation or by doing something that makes it come out, then this breaks his fast. This nullifies his fast, and he must make up for that day he skipped. But if it was unintentional, as in the case of nocturnal emission of semen, if this guy does it while sleeping, then it is not within his intention or his choice. He did not do this with his own choice and intention. Then this does not nullify his fast. Also, there are cases reported medically that semen is emitted without the intention, although the person is awake, but because of an internal illness, it comes out without his choice. And again, anything that comes out without your choice, without your own doing, then this does not nullify your fasting. The thing that nullifies your fasting, which involves your action. If you did something that emits this semen, then this breaks your fasting, and you have to make up for that day. Any more questions? Yes, sir.
I heard about some kind of illness that lets people emit semen involuntarily.
Yes.
So what could you say about this? Does he must pay something? Or?
Well, I did mention this a little bit earlier. If it's unintentional, if it's an illness, then this does not nullify your fasting. You should keep on, you should continue fasting. But this brings us to the other part of the question. What about if it is intentional? If someone does this intentionally, okay, when he makes up for that day, does he pay anything? No, he does not. The only time you pay when making up for that day is when someone has sexual intercourse. Then he should pay this expiation. He should free a slave, or he should fast 60 days, or feed 60 poor people. Any more questions, please? Yes, sir.
We know that according to Islamic teachings, one should not feel shy in asking about something that he does not understand in the religion. My question is it permissible for a man to kiss, hug, or fondle his wife during the daytime of Ramadan?
This depends on the person. See, people vary. They are different. They're not all the same. Newlywed people, especially, it's very difficult for them to control themselves. So if someone is newlywed, he just married a day or two, if he kisses, fondles his wife, or hugs her, or does something a little bit intimate, it may lead to intercourse. and then he is in deep trouble. And